Hello there. You're in the Beat Sessions. I'm your host, Mitchell Weary, and welcome into the first of a handful of late to the party album reviews. December is generally the slowest month for new music, and so it gives us an opportunity here at the channel to dip back and to look at some records that we didn't have a chance to cover earlier on in the year. Lots of great new music in 2022, simply just did not have enough time. But with the slowdown in December, gives us a chance to throw about a half a dozen more contenders out there before we drop our top 10 list here in a couple of weeks. Very excited to bring all of those to you. But we're going to kick this new series off here with the new record from Drug Church entitled Hygiene. They released that back on March 11th. This is the band's fourth studio album and their follow up to 2018's Cheer. And if I'd known about this five piece from New York back in March, I definitely would have talked about this outfit. I really love what's going on with this band and their sound. Fronted by Patrick Kinlan, great frontman. I really dig the vocal hooks that are there. Lyrically, he's spot on as well. A great balance of wit and snarkiness with thoughtfulness. Being a punk outfit for the most part, politics, talking about social issues, that's usually always at the forefront of that style of music. So I think he handles it well, very eloquent. This is a band that same lineup since 2011 at formation. I love the consistency that's there. A bunch of EP, like 3 EPs before they put out their first record, and they still have a couple behind that, along with these 4 full-length albums. But a big punk sound here, a band that's new to me, dipping back into their back catalog. I haven't had a chance to listen to much, but I've seen, and I definitely hear it myself, a lot of comparisons to a band like Black Flag. This is a newer band, obviously, so we want to look at more contemporary influences, and no doubt that both of these bands have been influenced by Black Flag, but I hear a band like Against Me and a band like Pulley, not as well known, but a great outfit. And both of these bands, I dig the catchy melodies that are there. I mean, it's really a great quality in all punk music, but there's something that's almost slightly poppy about their sound. I wouldn't say that it's directly pop music at all, but there's just so many catchy melodies, so many catchy licks and different musical components that draw you in that it's just tough not to love their stuff. But when I listen to this band, I hear a lot of alternative rock as well. I really hear a band like the Pixies. In Patrick's voice, there's quite a few moments where he's reminded me of Frank Black. But think of Sonic Youth a little bit, the Toadies, that '90s alternative scene with that I love that sound. That it's not quite punk, it's not quite grunge, it's not quite alt rock. There were a handful of bands that really they were really able to do their own thing, inspire so many different other musicians over the course of the last few decades. No doubt that these guys belong in that group of individuals. It's just a wonderful sound that they've put together. I hear a little bit of Weezer when I listen to their stuff. It made this record a ton of fun. It's an example of a band, and this is always a matter of an opinion, but they're just doing it better than most of the outfits out there. And this album, very well reviewed. And even for those that weren't emphatic about it, they were the biggest criticism I heard was that it was slightly derivative. And I get that, I can hear that, but this, again, matter of taste. But this is a band that is setting out to not really do anything new. They just want to write really catchy, fun music with a message that says something, and they're finding that balance. They're absolutely hitting the nail on the head. And I'm kind of surprised that obviously there's exposure is, it's so subjective. How you hear of a band, the people that you're around. This is a band that a lot of you might know who they are. There's many of you who might not be familiar with these guys, but I feel like this is an outfit that should be talked about more given the quality of what they do. I really think this fourth record in particular, it's a hot 26 minutes, 10 songs, but from start to finish there's just no filler. And what I really dig about the songs is that they're hot, they're fast, they're written in that punk style, but they feel so full. Even in a song that might have like a 2-minute runtime, it feels like they're able to achieve so much. And I really dig that about these compositions. This thing kicks off with Fun's Over, big hard hitting riff right out of the gate, more of an alternative rock feel though, and I'm loving that. Bit of a punk and grunge in that sound though. The production around the vocals great, really sounding like Frank Black a lot on this one, feeling the Pixies a bit, but it's a good thing. I love that influence there on this music, and especially since the Pixies' new music has been kind of disappointing. So, if this band's going to kind of like take the reins and give us some better sounding music in that sound, I'm all for it. Super Saturated is your second track. Big guitars, but there's this is like a lighter tonal affair. It's really interesting, that balance there. Like influences of jangle pop. There's a bit of like shoegaze. The jangle pop is more in the riffs and the guitar work, and the shoegaze feel just, it's kind of like this wash in the background, this texture, but it's a cool song. Really like the way that it comes off that hot opener. Plucked is your third track, right into it. Drums are dominant to open on this thing, but the guitars and the bass develop nicely into the song. It is a great, great track that leads into my favorite, Million Miles of Fun. Your fourth song is amazing. I'm loving the light riff to open on this thing, and then just, guitars kick right in. These things I hear about, the way the world works. I really like that lyric in this song, the way that hits. There's just the contrast of heavy elements with the light riff. Newsflash, I need less news. It's another line in this song that really very well done. Pixies, Weezer, I'm hearing all of that in this sound. It's a great alternative rock and roll song. Detective Lieutenant, your fifth track. Great arpeggiated riff to open. I like the bass driven tune that develops out of this thing. It just keeps this airy feel though with that riff, that guitar riff. It hits hard, about a minute in, and then backs off. And I like that exchange there to end the A side here. Your B side is going to kick off with Detective Lieutenant. Dig the opening guitars on this thing. Very punk driven, hard hitting song with excellent melodies and big stomping drums. They got a little bit of a roll to them. I really just dig that development in the percussion there. Your sixth song, that was your sixth song. Your seventh song, World Impact, is it's just such a dope riff to start off with. It's got another more of that dominant punk feel. I'm really hearing a band like Against Me in this particular song. Song about a protagonist that just never had a chance, and this is one of those examples where you talk about Patrick being thoughtful in his lyrics, and this is one of my favorite tracks for this reason as well. I really dug this song also. Premium Offer is your eighth track. Has a premium bass lick to open. I really dig that. Really dig that element of this track. Interesting kind of like psychedelic guitars that enter. This is very Pixie-esque for sure. Piss and Quiet is your ninth track. I love that title. That's very punk rock right there. Hitting Hard. It's super catchy. This song reminds me of early Green Day a lot. I really felt that in this song. It's a great penultimate track that leads into your 10th song, Athlete on a Bench. Love the opening guitar tone on this song. It's so good. Very grungy, and the rest that follows has got this light punk feel. It's the riff is simple but really catchy, and I think it captures what I was talking about earlier. Not trying to set out and do anything mind-blowingly different. Pave the way for anything new, but to just write music that's better than most of what is out there. And I definitely think that this band is doing it. Athlete on a Bench really reminds me of, mentioned that band Pulley earlier. They have a song, Working Class Whore, that I dig that track. If you've never heard it, you should check it out. But Athlete on a Bench, it made me think of that song, and I think it's a great way to close out this project. Gonna vinyl please this guy. I don't know if it's gonna end up in the top 10, but I really just enjoyed the hell out of this record. I've really been enjoying getting into this band. If you have any cool info on them, obviously always appreciate that kind of stuff in the comments section. Definitely appreciate your recommendations. If you have a favorite album, a favorite EP, or songs that you really enjoy, throw those down there too. It's always fun to debate that stuff and talk about that. So we got a vinyl please. Review is over. I hope you find it helpful. Hope you stay tuned throughout the week for more album reviews. We're going to keep this stuff coming at you throughout the remainder of 2022. Keith, MB, and I hard at work doing some other stuff for the channel, and we will bring that to you in the early part of 2023 as soon as we can. We'll keep you posted on all that. Stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in to the Beat Sessions. We'll see you next time.